In a society that often overlooks the struggles of workers, who can lend you a listening ear and understand your pain? Labor organization. But what do you mean by labor organization? A labor organization is any union or association of employees which exists in whole or in part for the purpose of collective bargaining or of dealing with employers concerning terms and conditions of employment. There are several labor organizations operating in the Philippines, representing workers from various sectors and industries. Here are some prominent labor organizations in the country. Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, or TUS-CP, is one of the largest labor federations in the Philippines. It represents workers from diverse sectors, including manufacturing, agriculture, transportation, and services. TUS-CP advocates for workers' rights, promotes social dialogue, and engages in policy advocacy on labor-related issues. Kilusang Mayo Uno, KMU. KMU is a left-leaning labor federation that primarily focuses on organizing workers in the industrial and service sectors. It advocates for workers' rights, job security, and better working conditions. KMU has been involved in various labor movements, strikes, and protests across the country. Federation of Free Workers, FFW. FFW is an independent labor federation that represents workers from different sectors, including government employees, healthcare workers, teachers, and workers in the private sector. It focuses on promoting workers' rights, providing legal assistance, and engaging in policy advocacy. Partido Manggagawa, PM. PM is a political party that also functions as a labor organization. It represents workers from various industries and advocates for workers' rights, job security, and social justice. PM actively engages in political advocacy, policy campaigns, and labor mobilizations. These are just a few examples of the labor organizations in the Philippines. There are many other unions, federations, and associations representing workers from different sectors and occupations, each with its specific areas of focus and advocacy. Here are some current trends in labor organization in the Philippines. COVID-19 and workers' rights. The COVID-19 pandemic had a significant impact on labor organizations in the Philippines. Many labor organizations focused on advocating for workers' rights and welfare amid the economic challenges and disruptions caused by the pandemic. This included efforts to secure fair compensation, safe working conditions, and job security for workers affected by the pandemic. Digital transformation. Labor organizations in the Philippines embraced digital technologies and platforms to adapt to the challenges posed by the pandemic. They utilized online platforms for communication, organizing, and advocacy, including virtual meetings, webinars, and social media campaigns. This trend accelerated the adoption of digital tools and techniques in their operations. Gig economy organizing. Labor organizations recognized the need to address the concerns of workers in the gig economy and non-traditional employment arrangements. There was an increasing focus on organizing gig workers, such as those in ride-hailing, food delivery, and other app-based services, to ensure their rights and protection in terms of fair wages, benefits, and working conditions. Women's empowerment and gender equality. Labor organizations continued to prioritize gender equality and women's empowerment in the workforce. Efforts were made to address issues such as pay equity, discrimination, and workplace harassment. Some labor organizations specifically focused on creating platforms for women's voices and leadership within the labor movement. Solidarity and alliances. Labor organizations in the Philippines emphasized collaboration and networking among various labor groups, civil society organizations, and social movements. Building alliances and partnerships allowed them to amplify their voices, coordinate actions, and address shared labor concerns. Social justice and human rights. Labor organizations increasingly integrated social justice and human rights advocacy into their agendas. They aligned their efforts with broader social justice movements, addressing issues such as worker exploitation, labor rights violations, and the rights of marginalized workers, including migrant workers and informal sector workers. These trends reflect the ongoing efforts of labor organizations in the Philippines to adapt to changing circumstances, advocate for workers' rights, and address emerging challenges in the labor landscape. That would be all. Thank you for listening.